I build productivity apps for a living. And let me tell you something. Most of them are designed backwards. They optimized for engagement, how long you stay in the app, not your output, what you actually got done. As a psychologist, I understand why it happens. And as a software engineer, I studied how those apps are built so I can avoid those traps. I'm Maria, psychologist turned software engineer. And today, I'll walk you through three psychological patterns that productivity apps use to keep you busy but not productive. Here's something I kept seeing, both on myself and in other developers that I talked to. You find new productivity app, it looks great, you set it up perfectly, and for the first few weeks, it works. You feel organized, you feel on top of things. But then something shifts. You're spending more time updating the app than actually working. You're checking things off, but you're not making real progress. Or the app just feels heavy, like you have one more thing to manage. So I started asking, what's actually happening here? And I found three psychological patterns that actually explain why this keeps happening. Let me show you how. Take a look at your task list. How many tasks do you have? Most people that I talk to have somewhere between 50 and 200 tasks. Now, here's the question. Are you actually going to do this all at once? There's something in psychology called Zeigarnik effect. Basically, your brain keeps unfinished tasks active in your working memory. With a physical notebook, you have natural limits. You can only fit so many tasks on a page. But digital apps, they don't have constraints. And you just keep adding and adding tasks. Projects, ideas, someday maybe lists and things you're waiting on. And what ends up happening is every single time you open this task list, your brain sees a huge long list of unfinished tasks. And instead of feeling organized, you feel overwhelmed. The app was supposed to help you manage your work, but now it's just showing you all the things that you're not doing. So at some point, I had like 73 tasks in my task list. I stopped opening it and just worked from memory. I actually got more done that week because I wasn't constantly reminded of everything else I wasn't doing. More tasks on your system doesn't make you more productive. It usually just makes it harder to focus on what actually matters. So that was the first pattern. Think about the last time you checked off a task in your app. That little moment of satisfaction, right? Maybe even a little animation, a sound, a streak counter. This feels good. And that's by design. That feeling is dopamine, your brain's reward system. And productivity apps know this. They use the same psychological principles as slot machines. Tricks, badges, satisfying animations, some kind of rewards. It's called gamification, and it works incredibly well. Your brain gives you the same dopamine hit for check the email as for complete the feature. Same checkbox, same animation, same reward, but very different value. So over time, without even noticing, you start optimizing for dopamine, not for the outcome. You gravitate towards smaller, easier tasks because they give you the reliable hit. You break big tasks into tiny ones just to check more boxes. Add things like make coffee or feed your cat just to maintain your streak. You end up with days when you checked off 15, 20 things and you felt busy. You feel accomplished. But when you look at what you actually did, you can't find anything substantial. I tracked this in myself too. I had a 47-day streak in a task app once. Felt great about it. But when I asked myself, what did I actually build last month? Honestly, couldn't remember anything significant. I was just feeding the app, but the app wasn't feeding my progress. This is the difference between activity and progress. Activity is responding to emails, updating lists, maintaining your system. Progress is shaping the feature, making the decision, moving the work forward. The apps that use gamification makes it easy to confuse this too. Because the rewards are the same for both. The app is designed to make you feel productive, not actually be productive. And third pattern, that one might be the most important. Most productivity apps start simple, but over time they add features, tags, projects, priorities, filters, custom fields, colors. It makes sense from a product perspective. They're trying to serve different kinds of users. But here's what happens. Every feature adds a decision. Before you even add a task, you're making choices. What priority is this? What project doesn't need a tag? What's the due date? What I've noticed is that you can end up spending so much time just maintaining your system, deciding how to categorize things, reorganizing your projects, setting up the perfect workflow. And that's the time you're not spending on the actual work. I talked to about 50 developers that I consider highly productive, and I asked them what they use for task management. Most of them use surprisingly simple tools: Apple or Microsoft Notes, text files, regular calendar. Not because they don't understand more complex tools, but because they've learned that less friction means more momentum. The best productivity system is usually the one that gets out of your way. If you're thinking about the tool, that means that you're not actually thinking about the work. So, after seeing those patterns over and over, I think this is what actually works. Based on what I've learned, both from psychology research and from building software, here are the principles I think will help. Principle 1: constraint over abundance. Instead of tracking everything you could do, focus on something that you can do today. Maybe that's 3 tasks, maybe it's one big project. But having that constraint forces you to prioritize. Principle 2: time based instead of list based. Your brain understands time better than it understands abstract lists. Instead of, I need to do these 10 things, try from 2 to 4 p.m. I'm working on this specific thing. It's finite, it's concrete, it's easier to commit to. Principle 3: minimal friction. The tool should be easy to use every day. If you're spending significant time maintaining your system, that's a signal. Setup can take some thought, but everyday use should be automatic. These principles actually led me to build Flowdoro the way I did it. There is no gamifications, no streaks or badges or checking boxes. It's just what you're working for and for how long. I built it because I wanted a tool that matched how I actually think about my day. If you're interested, I will leave a link in the description and you can join the waitlist. But whether you use Flowdoro or not, the main takeaway is this: your productivity system should make you feel focused and not anxious. It should help you make progress, not just track activity. And it should fade into the background so you can focus on the work that actually matters. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Monday.